Ms. Bauer. I think we'll call the meeting to order. First, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples. In particular, acknowledge our valued relationships with the Katzie, Kwantlen, Matsqui, and Semiahmoo First Nations. With this, Ms. Bauer, I'll let you take care of the preamble.
A public hearing is a statutory requirement under Section 464 of the Local Government Act and must be held before third reading of a community plan, land use contract amendment bylaw, heritage designation bylaw, or heritage revitalization agreement bylaw. During a public hearing, council acts in a quasi-judicial role for the purpose of allowing persons who believe their interest in property is affected by a bylaw, permit, or other matter to make representations to council, either orally, by written submission, or to add comments to or elaborate upon correspondence that may have already been presented to council concerning the bylaws. It is important to note that council is not able to receive any additional information on the bylaws following the public hearing as dictated by case law. The hearing procedure involves an explanation from the Community Development Division on the purpose of the proposed bylaws and to hear from individuals regarding the bylaws. In order to ensure that all interested parties have a reasonable opportunity to be heard, speakers are requested to keep representations as brief and succinct as possible and no longer than 5 minutes in duration, excluding the time required for questions from council. Speakers will be asked to state their name, neighborhood, and city for the record. And if referring to prepared remarks, to submit copies of these to the township clerk. Decorum must be always maintained. This includes refraining from applause, booing, or heckling. To assist with large numbers of speakers, individuals must advise the township clerk and sign the speakers list prior to the commencement of the public hearing. The names on the speakers list will be read out during the hearing. Individuals who have already addressed council and wish to add further submissions will wait until the people that have not yet addressed council have had an opportunity to speak. All submissions and speaker lists are considered part of the public record. Council members should not express their views nor debate the bylaws. However, they may question speakers to clarify particular points in their submissions. Council may consider third reading or third reading and final adoption at this meeting or at its next regular meeting. Thank you.
Okay, great. With that, I'll get a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Councillor Bailey, seconded by Councillor Martins. Any discussion? Seeing none, call the question on A1. It carries unanimously. Mr. Richardson, item C1.
Thank you, Your Worship. The subject Carville Neighborhood Plan Amendment and rezoning applications pertain to a proposed residential development consisting of approximately 223 apartment units in two six-story buildings located 20186 and 2021 to 86 Avenue. The 4.7 acre site is designated Transit Village in the Willoughby Community Plan. And high-density mixed-use apartment live-work, medium-density apartment, high-density apartment, conservation area, and pocket park in the Carville Neighborhood Plan. This air photo depicts the subject site located on the south side of 86 Avenue, west of 202 Street. Proposed Carville Neighborhood Plan Amendment Bylaw 5895 replaces the medium-density apartment land use designation with high-density apartment at a floor space ratio of 2.8. Proposed rezoning bylaw 5896 amends the existing suburban residential 2 zoning to comprehensive development zone 186 to accommodate the proposal. This slide indicates the proposed site plan with apartment units on the southerly portion of the site with pocket park areas east and west of a streamside protection area on the northerly portion of the site. The next series of slides are renderings, elevations, and landscape plan is indicated in development permit 101105. Staff recommends support of Commonwealth Neighborhood Plan Amendment Bylaw 5895 and rezoning bylaw 5896, subject to 13 conditions listed on page 8 of Council's agenda. Your worship, a total of 941 notices were mailed out, 1 written submission has been received, and there were no individuals noted on the speakers list.
Great. So with that, I'll call for submissions from the public on item C1. And for a second time, are there any submissions from the public on item C1? And for a third time, are there any submissions from the public on item C1? Seeing none, is there any, I don't see the proponent here. I don't think the proponent needs to come forward. Does the proponent wish to come forward and make any submissions? It's not seeing a proponent. Close the public hearing for item C1. Does anybody wish to move to consider third reading? Moved by Councillor Pratt. Is there a seconder to that? Seconded by Councillor Kuntz. Call the question on considering third reading. That carries. Councillor Richter opposed. Someone wish to move the recommendation? Moved by Councillor Pratt, seconded by Councillor Bailey. Councillor Pratt, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I think everybody should have the amendment on table. The idea being, and this came out of last council meeting when we were discussing this project, if we are building parks in areas where lots of people are living and working, it's my view that those people should have a say on what the form, use, and character of the parks that they're going to be using are, fully understanding that there's various levels of community engagement that are possible. So the purpose of this amendment, and you can read it, it's the bottom paragraph. It amends prerequisite number 4 to say, conduct a public information meeting and relevant community consultation activities held no sooner than September 11th, 2023, and prior to final adoption related to the, and then it continues with clause number 4 as it is written.
Okay, I'm not seeing any other speakers who wish to move that.
I'll move it.
Is there a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Martins. Is there any discussion on that?
Can I just?
Yeah, speak to it.
Yeah,
Councillor Pratt, go
so
ahead.
with this, and obviously there's obviously always the wonder and concern about what level of community engagement we're going to get, and I hope that the proponent, when they review this meeting, will take it under advisement that staff from the township should be there, council should be invited. This should be an opportunity for people who live and work in this neighborhood to have a real meaningful say and on the design of a park that they will use every single day. And I hope we can have some meaningful results out of this and set a good precedent moving forward.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Councillor Van Popte, did you have something? Yeah. Councillor Van Popte, go ahead.
Yeah, so just having seen this when I sat down, my initial gut reaction was I liked when we look at our parks that we have a high level, broad scale. We know that this is over here and this is over here. And when we get really granular, asking for input at a very granular level, there might be pieces missing that are already being incorporated in another park nearby. But I'm willing on this one to let this process go through as a test case to see how well it works out, to see what kind of engagement we do get, and to see if it's giving us the type of information that we're requiring. So I'll approve it for this project.
You'll vote in favor of it.
Sorry. Yes, I'll vote in favor. Sorry.
Any other discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, I'll call the question on the amendment. That carries with Councillor Rent opposed. So back to the main motion as amended. Councillor Pratt, did you have anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Councillor Van Popte, anything else? Nope. Seeing no other speakers, I'll call the question on C1 as amended. That carries unanimously. Got a motion to terminate. Moved by Councillor Martins, seconded by Councillor Bailey. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.